Hello there, everyone. How you doing today? I hope you're all well. Today we're going into r/EntitledPeople and continuing the story of the douche boat. There's quite a few stories, so there might be one more video after it, but if this is the first you've seen of it, go check out the video I've done before it so you can catch up. Now, I have an announcement before we get started. If you're seeing this the day it comes out, I'll be, streaming the new Duviri Paradox Warframe update on twitch.tv/Count Julius around noon. So, if you're seeing this in time, go check me out. And if you're a bit late, follow me there anyway. I'm gonna do stuff there on other days too. Now let's get started. Do a like and subscribe. For our first story, we've got You Wanted That! Part 5 of the Pandora's Box normal people wouldn't put themselves through of my douche boat of a former co-worker is here. Early morning, and I wanted to put it out there early. So as I put in a comment of part 3 or 4, yes, it's sports. He has spiraled out of control, so why not take it to what he loves most? Who wouldn't? Any sane person wouldn't. So this happened during fall, and we just got a new team due to 2 people quitting, and then the 3 new guys got fired who have no relevance to anything that happened surprisingly. Our boss was telling us about fantasy football. Her husband made a league on Espen. He joined. She joined. I figured, why not? So I was the 3rd one who joined. Both new co-workers joined, and that's 5. And then Douche Canoe joined. Yep, train already derailed, and it hasn't even moved yet. We managed to get 2 more people who helped with trucks before with us, so 8 people. Instead of an online draft, we did an in-person draft. We sat in all the break room to select our players, calling out whoever it is by looking at your phone, or if you had rankings of players at each position with you. We all draft players and 2 defense, except Douche Canoe. If you thought his previous endeavors were out there, get a load of this. This is what he drafts. Keep in mind, each team has 18 players. Requirement, 2 QB at most. Running back, and wide receivers. We agreed wouldn't have any set number limit of how many to have due to injuries and or suspension or whatever. Kicker and defense can easily be week to week depending. His team is this. QBJ Cutter, yep, 1 pick and it's already sunk faster than a Titanic. No offense to the Titanic though. Devin said, not what I would take next, but hey. And then Matt says, I noticed the Bears themed here. Everyone in the room. Who? Greg Obson, said tight end. The Bears defense. Robbie Gold at kicker. QB Caleb Haney. At this point, our boss is laughing. Her husband named Mark, and comes right at her with it. Mark says, your team is becoming a who's who list of failures, but okay. We have 10 picks to go, and okay. 10 more picks. Can't get any worse from here. Who am I kidding? It does. RB Chester Taylor. Is that the Cheeto mascot? So that's his name. Pick 10 and 11 WR. Earl Bennett and Johnny Knox. Picking 12... Garrett Wolf RB. Everyone's really confused. And now that we asked him to pick 13 and 14. Oh, I already feel sorry for the player. Tight end Desmond Clark and same position Kellen Davis. 15 and 16 are WR. Devin Armashuradu and Eric Peterman. He just went from the practice squad. Really? 17 was Rashid Davis at WR, and the last pick, Brandon Mahamalana, a tight end. Mark said, you have every Bears player on offense, but Todd Collins at quarterback. Are you sure? You know there's an off week and you get no points. Douche Canoe said, I don't care. I'm winning. I got the best team. I drafted my home team players. All you others are posers. And week 1, he gets crushed. Week 2 went 0-2. Week 3, well, we can't stop the bleeding. Week 4, 0-4. I'll skip ahead to the Bears bye week. Douche Canoe, you have nobody to start this week. You won't get points. So what? I'm a fan of all the Chicago teams. I'm not a poser. I'm not dropping anyone. I'm winning this week. No, you're not, Mark says. You have everyone on bye. Says you. And Mark says, don't come crying to me when you're losing every game. I won't. I'm probably first. Mark said, you have 0 wins so far. So, fast forward to the day before the playoffs in our league. Here's the standings with the printouts of every matchup from each week, Mark says. And Douche Canoe has the audacity to say, how am I last? You have all Bears players, and most don't get the points you need. You're screwing me. No way I'm this far behind. Mark said, I warned you. You drafted this team. You ignored everything else. And he accused Mark of saying, you obviously changed the points so I lose. Mark said, you're not entitled to a playoff spot because you think you deserve it and are entitled to it. Douche Canoe said, this is fucking bullshit. Mark said, you wanted this team. It's your fault. F off, you poser. And Mark said, dude, look at me. He's got a 6'4" bear, 255 pounds. He'll eat you. Douche Canoe says, I can win. And I say, he will eat you. And this leads up to part 6 that happens a week later. Nothing else happens about football because Mark got in his face, and it silenced him real fast. On to the next part. You don't feel bad for me? Hell no. I'm more worried about the fire hydrant. Part 6 from the shenanigans of good old Douche Canoe brings us to the beginning of 2011. Also, his favorite sport, basketball. Imagine how basketball feels after finding this out. So, the team of truck unloading is still me, the older gentleman from India, the 2 guys from Fantasy Football League, and unfortunately, Douche Canoe. This part will make Rocksteady and Bebop from the animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles look like rocket scientists. So, the 2 new guys. One loves Boston Celtics. Douche Canoe overheard me talking about people I know. Backstory? Sure. One of my closest friends in life, unfortunately, never met his birth mother. After giving birth, she left in 1987. So for a few months, it was him and his dad. Around the fall of 87, his father took him and me as 2 or 3 month old demons to a car show. There, his father met a very nice woman from Japan who had a daughter. She was a model for the car show in downtown Chicago. They both talked and, well, December of 87, she returned here from Japan to visit him, and they got married. I found out after talking they exchanged contact information. She knows a lot of people. I met many actors, actresses, athletes, race car drivers, and celebrities over the years. My parents and older sister also. Michelle Yao, the actress, is one of her closest friends and told her to tell me to keep these coming. Guess they figured out it's me. I did tell them about Douche Canoe. So after hearing me explain my close friends and fun times we had, Douche Canoe decides to bite off more than he can chew. He tells the coworker that he loves the Celtic and knows a person that can get Bulls tickets. We all look puzzled, and Douche Canoe says, Hey, I can get you 2 tickets to Bulls versus Celtics at United Centers. I warned Celtic fans it might be too good to be true, but surprisingly, Douche Canoe delivered. I wonder who he begged to get them. The date comes, and unfortunately, Celtics fans missed the game. He had a death in his family and had to miss work, the game, and drive to Wisconsin for the funeral and see family. Douche Canoe talks a lot of BS, and finally, if anyone is wondering when will somebody knock him down, say no more. Douche Canoe decides to go to the game. Apparently he had a woman joining him, but he doesn't drive. He tells me it's the person that got him the tickets. Sure, I believe you. He goes on about the woman and how he is preaching. I asked 2 questions that got him to return to our reality. Question 1. Does she know you exist? He said yes, and I doubt it. And how long did it take to blow her up? He didn't really like the question, so the next day he looks as if I hung around with a bug zapper. In his case, an electric fence. I see a scar on his leg and don't ask about it. I figured I'd let him approach me. Our boss takes the direct approach and asks about the game. He said it was fine, but I knew something happened. Our boss walked away, and after a few minutes he talked. He went on to say that he is with his friend, and when the game is over they left. But a man picked a fight from being intoxicated, shoved him down, and Douche Canoe hurt his leg. I didn't believe him, so I decided to contact my friend who I mentioned before. Since his stepmom knows practically everyone, I wanted to know what really happened. And here's what really happened. Douche Canoe got there alone. He had a nosebleed seat. Okay, well, he walked to his seat and sees an older woman sitting alone. So he sits a few seats away. Yup, smooth Romeo. So he strikes up a conversation with her. No harm done. Talking and laughing. They enjoyed the game to that point. Who knew Douche Canoe's human? I didn't. Well, reality decided to show itself because Douche Canoe offered to buy her something. She said no, but Douche Canoe decided that moment is the perfect time for drinks. Well, he drinks. During halftime, he went from sober to fully drunk. And he went into his life story of failure and mediocrity to the point she moved to a different section. And he kept talking to her. He saw where she went. When the game was over, unfortunately, he put it in his head he's now entitled to her because he had a great time with her. Sat next to her, and they were together a few hours until she moved. So, the game is over, and Douche Canoe hurries to get her to the point she left in a hurry. I guess she called someone because when she got outside of the United Center, he chased after her. She got in a car, and the car almost drove off. A man got out, told him to leave her alone. Douche Canoe says who is he to tell him what to do. The man said he's her neighbor, and Douche Canoe should leave. Douche Canoe kept saying he should get something out of it. So Douche Canoe says the woman is his, and whoo boy. The neighbor goes to Douche Canoe, and Douche Canoe backs up, then runs. But the neighbor caught up and pushed him into a fire hydrant, hurting his leg. The man went to his car and drove off. So, who witnessed the entire thing that got to my friend's stepmom? A woman with her husband sat 4 seats to the left of the woman. Heard everything, saw everything. The woman and her husband happened to be the parents of another friend of mine. The woman is good friend of my stepmom from their modeling career. Woman that witnessed it is from South Korea and the mother of a different close friend, who I will abbreviate his name to Jay. Jay doesn't look South Korean at all by looking at him. He looks like his dad. The stepmom told me Jay's parents witnessed a man and a woman have a great conversation until the man became drunk and preached about every failure in his life to the point the woman got up and went away. So I decided to put a damper on Douche Canoe because who he talked with became afraid. I told Douche Canoe I know everything. I explained what he did is wrong, and he kept saying he's entitled to her for how the evening went. I said he's lucky. He asked, "What would you have done?" I would have stayed sober. I don't drink. "Well, and you're one with women." I don't pick a fight with a guy who's helping a woman who's fearing for her life. "But the guy assaulted me." You're not entitled to her because you talked to her for a few hours, man. The guy she called stopped you from doing anything, and that's why he shoved you. "I hit the fire hydrant." And the nerve of that guy bringing innocent bystanders into it. "You don't feel bad for me?" "Hell no, I'm more worried about the fire hydrant." "But I got pushed into it." So, could have been worse. The fire hydrant could be broken now. Jerk. Behave yourself. "F this man, I'm going home." Don't do anything stupid. "You know I live a few blocks away." Again, don't do anything stupid. "But who's to blame? It's that guy's fault. She was my woman." She's not your woman, thank God. She can decide for herself. She left. You aren't entitled to something or someone because you say so. Just behave and be a decent person. It's easy. "Well, you had no chance if you got her drunk, put something in her drink, spun her around 200 times, made her run 5 laps around the United Center outside, gave her more liquor, and you're sober. You would have had no chance even if you went through all of that." And then Douche Canoe left after giving me the finger. I honestly think this. Douche Canoe loves to blame everyone. His blaming people and a doorknob have one thing in common. Everyone gets a turn. And that's the end of today's video. We're going to finish up the series of Douche Canoe in our next video. If you enjoy, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below and maybe follow me at twitch.tv/Count Julius. Now, without further ado, bye-bye! Hey, can I borrow your attention for a little second? You see, I'm saving up for some equipment items, like a VR headset so I can record in VR chat, or a new AT2020 mic. You can help me fund these by going to my throne in the description below. I'll leave it on the top to help you find it. If you enjoy my video, please check it out. Now, that's the end of today's video. I'll see you later.